We consistently occupied the Amnesty International for the 7-day period, irrespective of the intense blackmail and propaganda directed at us by the NGO. In the course of the 7 days, over 2 million protesters took part in the anti-Amnesty International protests in Lagos, and more than 1 million participated in Abuja under the rain, sun, and unwarranted brutality from Amnesty International. The occupation has been illuminating for us because it surfaced a lot of facts and useful information that were hitherto in the realm of conjecture. For one, we have been able to establish that the conspiracy against the existence of Nigeria is more extensive and elaborate than previously thought. While Amnesty International is the arrowhead of the foreign component of this evil agenda, it has a large network of other NGOs, CSOs, and even quasi-business entities that are running errands for it. These are the groups that jointly issued statements to condemn the occupation of Amnesty International's office. Individuals also that are on its payroll equally expose themselves as such by condemning our action, which is pro-Nigeria and not anti-Nigeria. Please take note of this. The extent of Amnesty International's infiltration of Nigeria is alarming to a point where it even has the National Human Rights Commission on a leash like a dog. It launched NHRC like an attack dog against the protests in an act of desperation, forgetting that it has exposed the lapses at the Commission in terms of playing its own role of monitoring issues of human rights in Nigeria. The implication is that the NGO is not willing to accept the treatment it is encouraging its clients to give the federal government. It is clear that this organization knows that the people it is supporting are doing the wrong thing, but it is defending them simply because it wants to get at the government and weaken it. It was discovered that the protests being backed by Amnesty International are a fallback position after its support for Boko Haram and the Islamic State West Africa province did not translate into an ability to penetrate metropolitan cities and carry out attacks against places of interest in Nigeria. An option to use violent protests by IMN and IPOP similarly failed woefully. But we have also learned that this NGO has no desire of giving up on its destabilization agenda, as it will always plot new schemes to achieve its goals wherever its strategy is made known and defeated accordingly. And this is why we have resolved that Amnesty International must leave Nigeria as a matter of now. Amnesty International must leave Nigeria as a matter of now. Amnesty International must vacate Nigeria now. We stood up as a coalition of several groups to challenge its subversive activities in the last 7 days. We expect that this organization will use the benefits of the end of the 7 days occupation to shrink away at night, because criminals are accustomed to making their getaway under the cover of darkness. But where we discover that the NGO continues to violate the space of Nigeria by remaining in the country after these 7 days of occupation, we want to categorically state and warn that the various groups may be forced to return on Monday, this time for around 40 days of occupation, non-stop. 40 days of non-stop occupation of Amnesty International. And they cannot, what I want to actually stress on is, no international organization has the right to drag our land with us. No international organization. You are my guest, and I say we no longer need you. We don't want you. The honorable thing to do is to do what? Just vacate. But they are trying to tell us that they are more powerful than we Nigerians, the owners of the land. And it is not true. It is not so. And it can never happen.